All right, boys and girls, as I promised today, I'm going to make a video now on inequalities, okay, and how to solve them and graph them. Now, these are also one-step inequalities. Now remember, when we're doing inequalities, you're solving the same way as an equality or an equation, a one-step equation, but you are going to be graphing them, okay, and you're going to be using less than or greater than equal signs. So number one, I'm going to do an addition example like I did with the last video. I have 7 is less than x plus 3, okay? Now remember, the first step I want to do is isolate the variable. So even though I'm using a less than sign, I still want to get x by itself. So the opposite of a positive 3 is a negative 3. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side. Now I do realize that this problem is almost exactly the same as the problem that you had with equations, but I want to show you that you're still going to solve them in the same way. Okay? All right, so we're going to take, we have 0 pairs, and we're going to bring down our x, and we're going to take 7 minus 3, which is 4. So 4 is less than x. Now remember, Coach Jones wants you to, if we're going to graph it, to get the x on the other side. So our sign will go the same way as our graphing. So we're going to do our flip-flop method. So x is going to go over here, 4 is going to go over here, and now I have to flip-flop the sign. Now, it doesn't say anything different. This says x is greater than 4 up here. Well, this is still x is greater than 4, okay? And this is still 4 less than x, and this is still 4 less than x. We're just flip-flopping our sign, so it will go the same direction as our graphing. Now, to check it, okay, 7 is greater than our original equation. I'm going to put in a number greater than 4. Okay, we don't want to use 4 because it's not equal to 4. So 7 is less than or equal to 5 plus 3. So I'm just going to use one bigger than 4. So 7 is less than 5 plus 3 is 8. So it does check out. Now when we graph it, okay, we go back to our original equation that we are solving. Okay, x is greater than 4. Now, the sign is facing this way. It's facing the positive way of our number line. This is our direction of our negative. Okay, this is facing to the right. This side would be facing to the left. So x is greater than 4. So I'm going to plot this on this side since I'm going to go to the right. Okay, so x is greater than 4. So it's going to be an open circle since it does not equal to 4. And we're going to highlight everything to the right. Okay, so any answer that's greater than 4. It could be 5, it could be 6, it could be 5.5, it could be 5 3/4, it could be 7, it could be 8, so on and so forth. So with inequalities, remember your answers, your solution answers, are going to be multiple answers. They're going to be infinite answers, whereas equalities only have one answer. All right, so this was an addition problem. Now I'm going to do a subtraction problem. X minus 3 is greater than 2. Okay, so we want to isolate the variable, so we're going to solve it just like equalities. The opposite of a negative 3 or the inverse operation of subtraction is addition. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side. So x is greater than 5. So since x is greater than 5, my x is on the left-hand side, so we're fine. We don't have to flip-flop it. Okay, that means I can't include 5. It's greater than 5, so I'm going to check it. So I'm going to plug in a number greater than 5. I'm just going to pick 6. 6 minus 3 is greater than 2. Well, 6 minus 3 is 3, and yes, 3 is greater than 2. So my answer checks out. Okay, now I'm going to graph it. My sign is going this way again. Once again, it's an open sign. So it's going to be an open circle, and I'm going to start with 5, and I'm going to highlight everything to the right. Okay, highlight everything to the right. So this is your subtraction. All right, let's do a multiplication example. 4x is less than or equal to 16. Now I want to isolate the variable. This is a multiplication problem. Something times 4 gives me 16. Okay, so we're solving for x. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4 because I want to isolate the variable. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. Okay, so that gives me x is less than or equal to 4. Okay, now let's check it. Since it's less than or equal to 4, I can use this actual 4 to check it. So 4 times 4 is less than or equal to 16. So 4 times 4 is 16. 16 is less than or equal to 16. So it does check out. Now I have to graph my inequality. Okay, so this way my sign on this answer is facing the other way. Okay, so it's facing this way. So I want to make sure that I fill in everything to the left. Notice it includes 4, so it's going to be a closed circle. Whereas these, it did not include the number, so they were open circles. And it's going to include everything to the left, everything that's less than 4. So that would be 3, that would be 2, 1, 0, so on and so forth. Okay, number 4, this is your division example. I have x over 2 is less than or equal to 1. Okay, x is less than or equal to 1. So since this is a division problem, I want to isolate the variable by using multiplication. This is really 1/2 x. Okay, so I want to multiply by my reciprocal, which is 2 over 1. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. Okay, now I don't have to put 2 over 1 over here because this is multiplying by a whole number, and this is a fraction. So I simplify. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So x is less than or equal to 2. Okay, so now we're going to check it. Plug it back in. 2 over 2 is less than or equal to 1. So I can use 2 because it's less than or equal to. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So 1 is less than or equal to 1. So it does work. Now I'm going to graph it. My sign is facing to the left. X is less than 2. Notice it's going to be a closed circle because it includes 2. And it's everything to the left of 2. Notice my symbols are going the same direction that I'm highlighting. So it is everything is less than 2. All right, boys and girls, I hope this helps you out. Remember, these are just examples, and you can go back and pause these examples. If you're having trouble with multiplication, you can pull out other multiplication problems from your study guide to check it with, and to use these examples to help you with your study guide. All right, thank you for listening. Have a good day.